At Work for a Living, we want to see spiritual and economic transformation in people's lives. This means changed worldview in an individual. This means fully discipled people, and it means people working. At Work for a Living, we've got some great tools that allow us to do just this in people's lives. Work for a Living is a job readiness program, Wired for Business, and Smart Finance that teaches people to create wealth. These are effectively door openers into people's lives. Door openers that give us access to be able to speak truth into people's lives. You see, in poor communities, in poverty-stricken nations, there's a desperate need for jobs. There's a desperate need for employability skills, a desperate need for business skills, and a desperate need for financial literacy. And through our tools and our workshops, we provide this. But by doing this, we attract people so that we can disciple them and speak truth into their lives. The end result, people transformed by the gospel and people working.
So the question should be, how do we reach more people? In fact, how can we reach a nation? Well, it will require a different kind of discipleship mentality completely. We need to think in multiplication terms. So currently, one center has the capacity to reach and transform 1,000 lives a year. After 36 years, that would mean 36,000 lives transformed, which in itself might seem fantastic. But when we look at the power of multiplication, let's see how that plays out. So if just 30 people experience that total transformation every year, and each one of those 30 was trained to reach another 30 people, and those 30 were also trained and equipped to reach 30 people, then after 5 years, the number of lives transformed becomes 24.3 million. That is exponential growth, and this type of spiritual multiplication that can impact the world.
In 2 Timothy 2 verse 2, Paul writes, "Now, teach these truths to other reliable people who will be able to pass them on to others." That is the multiplicative power of God's model. One person teaching another to teach another. Like in a relay race, Paul, who was in a prison cell in Rome, was handing Timothy the baton. He is not only telling Timothy to take the baton and carry it faithfully, but also to give it to others who will carry it faithfully and in turn hand it off to others after them. When you have a group, Work for a Living, Wired, DBS, or Smart Finance, you are equipping your soldiers to go out and have impact, an army, to get people discipled and working. You are planting yeast into them to grow and spread in communities. Again, to get other people discipled and working.
Romans 10 says the following: "Everybody who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. But how can they call on Him to save them unless they believe in Him? And how can they believe in Him if they've never heard about Him? And how can they hear about Him unless someone tells them? And how will anyone go and tell them without being sent? That is why the scriptures say, how beautiful are the feet of messengers who bring good news." But that good news must be good news, real good news, a changed worldview, people discipled, and people working, needs being met.
In essence, we are calling for people to start and to lead Wired for Business, Smart Finance, Work for a Living small groups, or Disciple Bibleship study groups. Your purpose in these groups is to disciple the people and more importantly, to teach the people in your group to form and lead their own groups. And in their own groups, to encourage them to repeat this process. That will result in the multiplication that we're looking for. And effectively, it will be how we achieve 2 Timothy 2 verse 2. So, We want to invite you to join our transformation drive and to see transformation happening in your communities. We want to see people discipled, we want to see people working, we want to see people starting businesses. If you want to be a part of this vision and join us, we would love to invite you to our website, www.workforaliving.org, or send us an email at partner@workforaliving.org.